All right, welcome back. Today, we're diving into a cricket story that, well, it just makes you scratch your head a bit.
Oh, just
Imagine this. One team delivers this absolutely stunning, record-smashing performance. We're talking 3 centuries in one innings. Just pure dominance.
historic stuff, really. Unbelievable hitting.
You'd think, okay, they definitely won the series then. Easy.
That's the logical assumption, yeah.
But nope, that's not what happened. And that's the fascinating bit we're digging into.
It really is a brilliant paradox. A day of absolute demolition, something cricket fans will talk about for ages, but it didn't actually clinch the overall series win.
Exactly. It makes you question what winning really means in like a best-of-3 or best-of-5 situation.
That balance between a single explosive performance and consistent play across several games.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. Unpack the third one-day international between Australia and South Africa. This was back on August 24th,
we cut through the noise, get you
at
the
Great
sharpest
Barrier
insights.
Reef Arena in
And today,
Mackay.
well, we're diving into a cricket match that just wrapped up. We want to look at the individual
South Africa,
brilliance, ODI,
talk about drama,
just the sheer
scale
specifically
of
the second ODI,
involved,
August
and then try
22nd,
to make sense of
2025,
that
up
weird
in Mackay,
series
Great
result.
Barrier
And
Reef
we've got a
Arena.
good
And
range
look,
of
the big
sources
news,
to piece it together.
South Africa
Cricket
just
World,
clinched the series with this
ESPN.com,
game,
the
right there on
Express,
Aussie soil.
ESPN
That's a
Info, The
statement.
Guardian.
It absolutely
They
is.
all covered
And that's
this
our
pretty
mission today,
extensively.
really.
Yeah,
Just
they
peel
paint
back
a
the
really
layers of this
vivid
match,
picture
go
of,
beyond the
well,
scorecard.
an
What are the key
unforgettable
moments, the
game.
turning points?
Unforgettable
Who are
is
the heroes?
definitely the word.
Once you get the full
The stats
picture,
alone
the
are
informed
eye-popping,
take,
but putting them
without
in the
feeling
series
overloaded.
context,
This wasn't just a win.
that
It felt like
adds,
something more.
Right, so the big question
So
we're
many
tackling
layers.
is,
It's more than just
how did
cricket. It's
South
almost
Africa pull off
a
such a
case
dominant
study.
win?
Okay,
especially
so
playing
Australia
away?
wins the toss.
And
They decide
who
to
were the
bat
individuals
first.
whose Flat pitch,
Performances
sunny
really
day.
sealed the deal.
Looked like a good call.
Let's get into
Seemed pretty standard.
Okay, so it all
at the
started with
time,
the toss.
maybe a bit aggressive.
South Africa
but
won it.
Sensible
Day-night
given the
game.
conditions. Bit of a
Little did
breeze
we
around
know
the
it was
Great
gonna
Barrier
lead
Reef
to,
Arena. They
well,
chose to bat
history being
first.
made.
Yeah.
You can
Even
almost
if maybe
picture the
not
thinking,
the
right?
series
Get runs
history
on the
they
board.
wanted.
Right. What
But,
came next was
that
just
initial confidence.
an
It probably took a
absolute
hit pretty
batting
quickly.
explosion. An
Australia's
earthquake, as you put
bowlers,
it.
especially
started
Scott
right from the
Bartlett,
off,
they
didn't
came
it?
out
No messing
firing.
around. They certainly
No,
did.
not
He
at
struck
all.
early.
Yeah,
Mitch
big
Marsh,
blows. First
Captain,
Markram, you
and
expect him to
Travis
steady
Head.
things, but
They
nope.
just like
Chipped one
flew
straight
out
to
of the
square
blocks.
leg,
The
out
power
for a
play
duck.
those first
1.4
Yeah,
overs
crucial
in.
time.
They smashed
South Africa
86
2 for
runs
1
without losing a
not
wicket.
the plan.
86 and 10. That's
Then
T20
Rickelton,
speed
he edges one,
almost.
Pretty much.
and joshing
It was
was
a
behind the
huge
stumps.
statement of intent.
Wow, what a
Bang.
catch!
We're here to
Diving
dominate.
low,
Superb
that kind of run
take.
rate
Yeah.
early
So
on
5.4
puts immense
overs,
pressure
South
on the
Africa are
fielding captain
23
and
for
the
2.
bowlers immediately.
And that was just the start,
you know,
wasn't it? They weren't
inside the
content
first
with
6
a quick
overs,
opening
2
burst.
top order guys
no,
gone cheaply.
that opening
That
partnership
puts
just kept
just
going
immense pressure on the batting side. Often
and going.
that's
It
both
was
collapsed, doesn't it?
massive.
The
It really
sources
does.
talk about a
So
250
psychologically,
run
that's a
stand.
massive blow. Losing
250
key players
before
that
the first
early,
wicket fell.
they can just
Incredible.
unravel an inning.
Just think
creates
about
that
ripple
effect.
Takes the wind
What's
right out of the
fascinating
opposition
here, what's
sails.
really
And
insightful,
Travis Head,
is
he
how
was named
South
player of the
Africa
match later,
responded.
right? He was
They didn't just,
spectacular.
Absolutely.
hang on.
142
They seemed to
runs
strategically
and
counter it.
quick runs
It wasn't
too,
just talent.
off only
It felt like
103
a
balls.
plan.
That's a
Resetting
fantastic
mentally.
strike rate.
And the
well
guys
over
who
a
led
runnable.
that fight
He
back
didn't get out
were
until the
Tony
34th
Zorzi
over.
and
By which
Matthew
point, the
Breezy.
damage was well and
They
truly
came
done.
in, steadied the ship,
And Mitch Marsh at
started
the other
to,
end,
well,
he got a century
push back
too.
a bit.
Breeze
100
looked
off
good early,
106
didn't
balls.
He looked
So you've
very
got both
fluid,
openers hitting
driving,
tons.
flicking,
That's
seemed
rare
really
enough.
confident
Very
despite the
rare.
situation.
And
Got
putting
to
on
his 50
250
in just
together.
46
That basically
balls.
builds you in
He
an
showed they weren't just
unshakable
gonna roll
platform.
over.
It wasn't
Mhm.
just
A crucial
slogging
signal.
either. It was
So that
calculated
partnership
aggression. They
definitely
just
eased the
ground the bowlers
pressure.
down.
Okay,
Zorzi,
so Head and
he
Marsh
eventually
finally
miscued
get
one
out.
off
After
Zampa,
setting this
leading edge,
incredible
held on.
stage.
That was at
You'd maybe
15.6
expect things to
overs,
calm
scored
down a
90
bit,
for
maybe
3.
consolidate. But then Breezy
Logically,
found another
yes.
partner.
Perhaps
Tristan
rebuild
Stubbs.
slightly, aim for a still
Exactly, and
huge,
this partnership, Breezy
but
and
maybe
Stubbs,
manageable
this was
total.
really the
Not
heart
a
of the
chance.
innings. They put on
What happened
89
next with
runs
Cameron Green and
together.
Alex Carey
Took
was
South Africa from that shaky 90 for 3
bonkers.
right
It
up
really
to
went up another
179
gear,
for
didn't
4.
it? The finishing
It wasn't
kick
just about
was
survival
phenomenal.
anymore.
Cameron
They were
Green,
building
unbelievable
something
innings,
serious.
118
nailed it
not out
there.
from just 55
Those
balls.
middle order
55
stands,
balls, that's just
they are just so
extraordinary
vital
hitting
when you've
power.
lost
And his
early
century
wickets.
came off only
And Breeze
47
got-
balls.
88 off
47,
78 balls.
which the
Fantastic
stats say
innings.
is the second
And Stubbs,
fastest ODI
74
100
off
ever by
87.
an Australian.
He Which is saying something, given the hitters Australia has produced. That's an incredibly rare
rotated
feat.
the strike,
Pure power,
found the
incredible
boundary when
timing.
needed.
Everything
They
has to click
really
perfectly.
understood
And
what
Alex
was
Carey wasn't
required,
just
didn't they?
hanging around either.
Absorb,
No way.
then counter.
He played a crucial
Shows
role.
great game
A
awareness.
quick unbeaten
Yeah,
50 off
absolutely.
just
But even after
37
they
balls
built that
kept the
platform,
momentum
Australia
sky high.
tried to
Their
fight
partnership
back.
for the
There was
third
a
wicket,
bit of a, let's call it a mini
164
wobble.
runs in just over
A few
13
quick
overs.
wickets.
Yeah,
That's an
young
insane
Brevis
run
went,
rate.
tried to
And it
pull a
meant
short one got caught,
absolutely
185
hammered
for
the
5. Then Mulder, he went for a big slog, caught in the deep.
Runs,
233 for 6. He thought, okay, maybe Australia can keep them under, say, 260 something.
Claw back
something
a bit.
almost
But South
mythical.
Africa found another gear,
that
didn't
final
they?
acceleration pushes it beyond just
kept pushing.
difficult
Shows their
into
batting depth, I
psychologically
guess.
crushing
really
territory.
what's
for the
insightful
team
there is
second.
even
So the
with
final
those
damage,
stumbles,
Australia posts
they didn't let it become a
431
full-blown
for 2
collapse.
in their
That
50
seems
overs.
deliberate.
Yeah. 431.
Speaks volumes
Just let
about
that
their
sink in.
planning,
431
having that depth, making
the
sure
loss of
someone
only 2
bats with the
wickets.
tail.
It's
They
astronomical.
stopped
You
Australia
can only imagine the
building
state
that
of the South African
wicket-taking
bowlers
momentum.
after that.
Collective
Their figures
effort.
must have been
So yeah, they did
grim.
lose more
Yeah,
wickets
the
near the
sources
end.
paint a pretty
Muthusamy got
bleak
picked
picture.
out. Stubbs finally
Maphaka,
went trying
a
to
young
up the
bowler,
rate.
went for
Speed
73
won.
in 6
The
overs.
tail didn't
Mulder
add much.
conceded 93
But they still
in
got
just 7.
to
That's like 12, 13 runs
all
and
out,
over.
49.1
Brutal.
overs,
Absolutely
so
brutal.
just 5 balls left.
Maharaj and
That
Muthusamy
felt
did
like a
manage
really
to
good
grab a
score
wicket
from where
each,
they'd
but
been.
honestly, it
Definitely
was just a
competitive.
relentless
And for
tide of
Australia's
runs. They had no
bowlers, look,
answers.
they kept
So,
trying.
thinking
Zampa
about
was
that
probably the
innings,
pick, got 3 for 63.
What really stands
he
out to
always
you,
finds a
maybe
way to
for the
take
listeners
wickets, doesn't he?
thinking about
Even when it's tough going.
Why is it so
And
incredibly
Ellis,
rare to
Bartlett,
see
even
300s
Labuschagne, they
in
all
one
chipped in
ODI
with 2
innings?
wickets each.
It takes so many things
a decent
aligning,
collective
doesn't it?
effort to keep them
You
under
need
300.
incredible
but
individual
yeah,
skill, obviously,
278 was the target.
but also
Decent target to defend.
a very
So,
batter-friendly
Australia
pitch,
walk out.
maybe slightly
Chasing
off-form
278
bowling,
on home
and
turf.
just unwavering
Strong batting
focus
lineup.
from
You'd think, okay,
multiple
game
players
on.
the same day.
What do
And
you
maybe
reckon
a bit
the
of
mood
luck
was
along
in
the
that
way?
Aussie
Definitely a
dressing
bit of
room at
luck.
the break?
To have 3
Confident,
guys not
a
just
little
get
wary.
starts,
Probably
but
reasonably
convert them
confident,
into
you'd
big
imagine.
hundreds and
Chaseable
score them
score.
quickly.
Well, if they were
It's a
confident, it
perfect
didn't
storm.
last
A
long.
perfect
What
storm of
happened
batting
next
brilliance.
was just, well,
Okay, so
power
Australia
play
puts
pain
this
is the only way to
monumental,
describe it.
almost unbelievable
Tough start for the
432
Aussies.
run
It's a
target
devastating
on board.
start. South Africa's
The
opening
innings break
bowlers,
must have felt
Berger and
heavy for South
Njidi, were just
Africa.
Heavy is an
relentless,
understatement.
fierce.
You're looking at a required
Head,
run
Travis
rate
Head
of over
gone,
8.6
nicked off,
runs per
2.2
over from
overs,
ball
6 for
1.
1.
That's
Wow.
immense
Then
pressure
Labuschagne
before you even
tried to
face a
steady
delivery.
things.
The psychological
feather and edge,
weight must have been
3.3 overs,
enormous.
7
Absolutely.
for 2.
And
Just like that.
unfortunately for them, the chase wasn't
And then the
much of a
captain, Mitch
psychological
Marsh,
battle. It was more
he goes
like
pulling.
immediate
9.2
collapse.
overs. Australia
It fell apart
38
really
for 3. The
quickly,
power
didn't
play
it?
was
Those
an
first
absolute
10
nightmare
overs.
for
yeah, it
them.
was
And
catastrophic.
think about the
4
impact
down
of that.
inside the first 10.
Losing
Key
3 top
players
guys,
gone.
including the
Like
skipper.
who? Let's
so
see.
cheaply in
Markram
the
out for
chase.
just 2.
It's not just the runs deficit.
Then
It
Rickelton for
totally
11,
changes the psychology,
Bavuma, the
the
skipper, for
strategy.
19.
Suddenly, it's
Stubbs
not a
for
chase
only
anymore.
1 run.
It's a rescue
Wow.
mission, right?
Just like that.
The
Bang,
middle
bang,
order
bang.
is under
Abbott and
immense
Bartlett,
pressure
the
to not
Aussie
just
bowlers,
score
doing the
quickly,
early
but also
damage.
rebuild.
Exactly.
Being
That's a
4 down,
huge
chasing
ask.
over 400.
A massive
It's
ask,
essentially
but
game over. The
Credit
required
where it's
rate just
due.
skyrockets.
Australia did
Belief
try to
evaporates.
mount that rescue
It's
mission.
almost an impossible task.
Josh
from
Inglis came
Any
together
signs
with
of
Cameron
resistance
Green.
at all?
And
Or
they
was it
showed
just
some
downhill
fight.
all
They
the way?
did.
There were a
Put
couple
on
of brief
67
moments, I
runs for the
suppose.
fourth wicket.
Zorzi tried
took
to
the
dig
score
in a
from
bit,
that
made
awful
33
38
off
up
30
to
balls.
105.
Showed some fight.
Started to
Okay,
look like
a little
maybe,
something.
And then
just
Dual
maybe,
Brevis
they could
came out
stabilize.
swinging.
Inglis
He
especially
played a really
looked like he
aggressive
was
cameo,
taking the fight
49
to them.
runs off.
He
just
wasn't
28
just blocking,
That's
he was
quick scoring.
counterattacking,
Any
wasn't he?
boundaries?
Trying
Oh, yeah.
to shift the
He had
pressure
5
back.
sixes.
Looked like
Proper
he knew
power
he had
hitting.
to be the anchor
But,
and the
chasing
aggressor.
that total forces you to take risks.
Carrying
and
a
you
lot
got
of
out trying to
hope
hit
there.
another
He
one.
really was.
So it was
But
exciting,
then came the
short-lived.
turning point. Green
That's
gets
the
out,
danger, isn't it?
22.3
You have to
overs.
attack.
Scores,
But attacking
still
leads
only
to
105
wickets when you're
for
under
4.
that
Still a
much
long way to
pressure.
go.
A
Precisely
very
the dilemma.
long way. And
You have
this
no
is where the
choice
game
but to
just
go hard,
completely
and that
turned on its
often
head.
plays right
Lungi
into
and
the bowling
Njidi
side's
came back
hands,
for another spell.
especially when they had a huge
Yes,
score
the
to
Njidi
defend.
surge.
And then the
Exactly.
spinners came
What a
on. I
spell.
remember
Just
reading
brilliant.
about
He
Cooper
gets out,
Connolly
Carey
having
edging
one
great game.
133 for 5.
fantastic spell.
Breaks that
His
partnership.
left arm
Crucial
spin
wicket.
just tied
Then
them in
Hardy,
knots.
he departs.
He ripped through
Pressure
the middle and
really
lower
building
order.
now.
What were his figures
33.3
again?
overs,
Incredible
175
figures. 5
for
wickets
6.
for just 22
Australia
runs
are
in his 6
running out of
overs.
batters.
And
5
running
for
out of
22.
time.
That's
And
absolutely
then
match win. He
the
really put
absolute
the nail in
killer
the coffin.
blow, the
He certainly
decisive
did.
moment, 35.1
Capitalized
overs.
perfectly
Inglis,
on the pressure
who
that
played,
the
I mean,
scoreboard and
a
the early
truly
wickets
valiant
had already
innings,
created.
87 runs
South
off to
Africa
74
just had nowhere to
balls.
go.
So
So
the
the
innings
innings
just
just
fizzled
fizzled
out.
out
Found
from
that
there.
edge.
Pretty much.
And with
They
Inglis
were eventually
gone.
bowled out
Yeah,
for
that
just
was pretty much much it. The chase was effectively over, and GD just ripped the heart out of it.
Australia
His line, length, maybe a bit of variation in pace.
All done
just
in just
too good.
24.5
Forced the
overs.
mistake from Inglis.
So Australia won by a massive.
It wasn't just about the wicket, so 5
runs.
is phenomenal.
276 runs. That's an enormous margin. It really highlights the gulf on the day.
At the most critical time.
And
that's game-changing stuff.
It brings up a question for
Pure individual brilliance
what do you
all
think
during the
happens
entire match.
psychologically
He bowled smart,
when you
not
lose
just fast.
those early
targeted
wickets,
those
chasing
key
a
moments
monster
and just
score?
dismantled
How does it change
Australia's hopes.
Absolutely.
The approach, the morale?
After Inglis fell,
it's not
the
just the
tail
runs gone,
melted
the
away.
whole mindset
no
shifts
real resistance.
from maybe we
the
can do
momentum was
this
all
to
South Africa's.
how do we
and
just
Australia
survive?
Were bowled
Exactly.
out,
Survival
all done,
becomes the
for
main
just
goal, not victory.
193.
Every
and only
attacking shot feels like a huge
37.4
gamble.
overs.
Didn't even
So
bat
a
out 40 overs?
276 run win
So,
for
the
Australia.
final result.
South
Utterly
Africa win
dominant
by a
performance
massive
on the day.
84
No doubt
runs.
about it.
And
those
those
individual
individual
awards
awards
really
really
tell
tell
the
the
story.
story.
Head player of the match
still
for
to
the
play.
142.
That's a
Well
huge
deserved.
statement, winning like
Green's
that away
47
from
ball
home.
It really is.
century,
And
second
what's
fastest
truly insightful
Aussie
is just how
ODI
complete the
ton.
performance
Just
was.
phenomenal
The
hitting.
batter set
And
that
Connolly's
foundation, recovered from the
5-wicket
early
haul to
trouble,
clean things
and then
up.
the
A
bowlers
brilliant
just spell
dominant.
of spin bowling under
GD
pressure.
obviously
All
with those
signs pointing
incredible
to
figures.
Australia just being miles
542,
better, right?
a
On that
classic
day,
match-winning
certainly.
spell.
On that day,
Unbelievable figures.
Absolutely. But it wasn't just him, untouchable.
Berger
was
why the
hostile
next
early,
got 2 for 23.
Confusing.
Muthusamy bowled
This is where the
tightly,
story takes
2
that
for
really
30.
interesting twist
It
we
was
mentioned
a
at the
really
start.
comprehensive team
because
bowling
despite
effort.
Australia
They
winning
just
this
suffocated
match
Australia.
by an
So let's
absolutely
quickly highlight the
colossal
stars
margin.
of this
Rushing
deep
them
dive
by
then.
276
Player of the match
runs.
has
South
to
Africa
be
won the
Lungi
series.
Njiti, right?
2-1.
5 for 42.
Isn't that wild?
Match winner.
No question
You
about
deliver
that.
perhaps one of
His
the most
spell decided
dominant
it.
ODI
And
performances
the batting
ever seen.
heroes for South
Break
Africa.
records left,
Gotta mention
right, and
Matthew
center,
Britsky.
and you still lose the
Fantastic
series.
It
And Tristan
completely
Stubbs,
flips
that
the
solid
script, doesn't it?
74.
It
That
forces
partnership
you
was key.
to look
Absolutely
beyond the
crucial.
single
And for
match,
Australia,
beyond the
well,
highlight
Josh
reel,
Inglis,
and
He
consider
fought
the whole
so
campaign.
hard for his
How does that
87.
even happen?
A
Did
lone
Australia
hand,
peak
really.
too late?
Yeah.
Did South
And that
Africa
maybe
just win the
forces us
first
to
two
think about team
comfortably and this
dynamics,
was a dead
doesn't it?
rubber?
Inglis was
That's
brilliant,
the
fought
context we need.
incredibly hard.
While this
But
win
the
was
lack of
spectacular,
support
South
around
Africa
him
had already secured the
South
series by
Africa,
winning the
where
first
Brevis
two
and
matches.
Stubbs built that
So
big
while the
partnership,
loss in this
that
third
was a
game
major
was
difference. South
severe,
Africa had multiple
the
guys
trophy
stepping
was
up.
already heading their way.
Australia relied
Okay,
heavily
so
on
maybe
Inglis.
South Africa weren't
Brave,
quite
yes,
as desperate
but often not enough in
mentally,
these big games.
though you'd never want to lose
Underscores
by
that
that
need
much.
for a collective
Probably
effort.
not quite the
Yeah,
same
good
edge,
point.
perhaps.
So summing it
But
all
it still
up,
highlights
what's
a
the
really
big
important
picture
point about
takeaway?
multi-game series,
South
doesn't
Africa
it?
seals
Yeah, what
the
does it tell
series.
us?
They showed
Well, it shows that one
amazing batting
single,
depth to
unbelievable
recover from that early
performance,
wobble.
however
And
dominant,
they showed a bowling
doesn't
attack
always outweigh
spearheaded by
consistency.
Aniti's brilliance that
South
can rip
Africa
through a
clearly did
topside.
enough in the first two
Massive
games
confidence boost
to
for
build
them,
an
surely.
unassailable
Definitely.
lead.
A
So it's like
huge statement.
winning a battle
Well, what a
spectacularly,
fascinating
but
match to
losing
unpack.
the war. We went
That's a great
from
way to put it.
South Africa
Consistency
looking
across
shaky
the series
to their brilliant
trumped
recovery,
that one
then Australia's
massive
chase
outlier
starting
performance.
disastrously,
We see it in other
Inglis
sports
fighting
too,
back,
you know.
and finally
Playoff
Njiti
series
just
in basketball,
slamming the door
knockout
shut.
tournaments.
Quite the ride.
It
One
really was.
amazing game.
And I hope,
listening
doesn't
to
guarantee
this,
the
you picked
ultimate
up
prize.
on those
Key
It's
insights.
about
The
sustained
importance of
performance over
resilience.
the duration.
How
Exactly.
one bowler's spell can mental just
toughness,
change everything,
adapting
and
to
how
different
ultimately
conditions
it's
across
that team
matches,
effort,
tactical
even with
adjustments.
standout
That's
individuals
often what
that
separates
win
the
series
series.
winners. South
So here's a
Africa
question
showed
for you listening.
real strategic
What do you
smarts
value
and mental
more?
toughness today.
That single,
Absolutely. Well,
unforgettable
thank you
day
so
of
much for joining us
record-breaking
on this
brilliance,
deep dive into
or the
the second
consistent
ODI.
grinding
It's been
effort
great
that
breaking
wins
it all
the series
down, and we
overall?
really hope you feel you got the
And
inside
how do you
track
think
on what
this
happened
single
and why.
game,
And
despite
maybe
the
just one
series
final
result,
thought for you to
affected
chew on
both teams
as you
mentally
reflect
moving
on this
forward?
game? In
Does it give
ODIs,
Australia huge
momentum
confidence
shifts so
despite the
fast,
series
doesn't it?
loss,
So
knowing
how much
they
of
can
winning
produce
comes
that
down
level?
to just raw
Or does
skill,
it
and
make
how
the
much
series
is
loss
about
even
that
more
mental
frustrating?
game?
Thinking,
The ability to
if
handle
only we
pressure to
played like
deliver
that
right when it
earlier.
matters
And
most.
for
Think
South
about
Africa,
what this series win,
are they quietly
sealed early,
confident knowing
means
they
for
won
South
the
Africa's
series?
confidence moving
Or is there a
forward. And
lingering
maybe,
doubt
just
after
maybe,
being hammered
what
so
lessons
badly in one
Australia
game?
need to take away
It's fascinating
from this
dressing room
pretty emphatic
psychology, isn't it?
defeat?
The coaches would have had very different team talks after this, despite the final series scoreline.
So wrapping this up then, we've looked deep into a match that was just extraordinary on its own. Australia is 431 for 2, 3 centurions, a win by 276 runs.
Unbelievable highs for them on the day, followed by the devastating collapse for South Africa.
But then the big twist, South Africa takes the series 2-1 anyway. It defies the narrative of just looking at one game.
A stark reminder that the bigger picture, the context of the entire series, is crucial. Consistency often wins out.
Absolutely. So here's a final thought to leave you with. When a team has a day like Australia did, utterly dominant, record-breaking, but still walks away without the series trophy, how do we measure success?
Is it purely about those moments of incredible brilliance that get etched in history books? Or is it about the sustained effort, the grind over multiple days that ultimately gets you the silverware?
And think about the coaches. What are they telling their teams? One side celebrating a historic win but a series loss, the other side nursing the wounds of a massive defeat but holding the trophy. It's complex, isn't it?
It really is. Plenty to chew on there about sports, psychology, and what winning truly means.
Definitely something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.